One of the most pressing issues in our state today is that of Detroit Public Schools. The Michigan Senate spent 15 months working across the aisle in a bipartisan way to develop a solution that benefited our kids. The Michigan House of Representatives took 15 hours to dismantle all of that great work. With so many competing sides of this issue, I think it's really important that we take a step back, examine both plans that are before us, so that we can have an understanding of what's truly at stake here. When looking at the differences between these two plans, I believe that there are 5 key components that we need to focus on. The first, of course, is the money. Now, as you know, Detroit Public Schools has been under state control for 15 of the last 17 years. The state of Michigan has an obligation to pay off that debt. The Senate plan allows us to pay off the debt and upgrade the buildings that have been crumbling for so long in Detroit Public Schools. The House plan doesn't do any of that. In fact, according to the Department of Treasury, the House plan puts Detroit Public Schools back into a deficit just 2 months from now. Secondly, let's look at the teachers. Detroit teachers show up every day with a smile on their face, ready to make a difference. The Senate plan allows those teachers to keep their jobs and keep doing what they do best. The House plan forces all of the teachers to reapply for their jobs and opens the door for uncertified teachers coming into the classroom. I simply ask, would you want uncertified teachers teaching your children? I think not. Third, the EAA. The Education Achievement Authority was a failed experiment from the state of Michigan. The Senate plan gets rid of the EAA. It returns those buildings and those students to Detroit Public Schools. The House plan continues it in perpetuity and offers no real solutions for the students in Detroit. Fourth, local control. It is time to return Detroit Public Schools to a locally elected school board. The Senate plan allows for that. We're planning on an August election to put those individuals back in charge of their own school district. The House plan allows for state control for the foreseeable future. Again, no real solution to the problem. And finally, we have to bring some rhyme and reason to the opening and closing of schools in Detroit. Some parts of the city have an oversaturation of schools with very few children. Other parts of the city have an oversaturation of children with very few schools. When we talk about providing parents with choice, I think it's important to talk about quality choices. We need to level the playing field, allow every child to have the opportunity to do what's best for them. I believe that the Senate plan accomplishes that. The House plan completely eradicates any opportunity of leveling that playing field. Over 1 month ago, the Michigan Senate came together and passed a bipartisan solution for Detroit Public Schools. Last week, the House of Representatives dismantled that work. This is not an alternate plan to the Senate. This is an alternate reality. I need each and every one of you to join me today. Pick up the phone or write your legislator and tell them to support the bipartisan Senate solution for Detroit Public Schools. Every day that we waste, we are jeopardizing the future of a child in Detroit.